Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso.
It is an absolute disastrous mess. Never seen anything like this in my life.
6 dead and more than 100 injured after an Amtrak train overturns. We have the latest on the investigation. Also back here in the borderland, the Segundo Barrio's most famous priest returning to the borderland for a big celebration. We have the details also.
The road's being washed out and pretty underwater. It looks like we got a lot, which we needed.
The borderland getting quite the soaking from yesterday's storms. Can we see more rain today? Your complete storm track weather coverage is coming up.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
People in El Paso, I don't know why, when there is raining, they drive like crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
All the crazies and the crazy weather. Our Storm Track Weather team warning you days in advance about those storms, and they were right. This is video of I-10 near UTEP during the heavy downpours yesterday afternoon. East side of town also getting hit hard, but right now things have cleared up a bit. We'll take a live look from our ABC7 Mountain Cam this Wednesday morning. That first alert has been issued. We'll check in with Crystal coming up in just a bit, but in the meantime, good morning, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. Thanks for waking up so early with us today. I'm Hillary Floren. Stephanie Valle is off today, so let's get right to meteorologist Crystal Clay. And Crystal, I was telling you yesterday, my 14-year-old walked in and said, man, Crystal was right on today with the forecast.
It's making me feel good on my Wednesday. You know what? The whole Storm Track Weather team, we were watching this storm closely, checking out the models and our future track model, all in agreement that we were going to have those storms hit, and that's just what happened. So we tracked the storms in the afternoon. Consistent rain fell overnight. Now it's moving on out, and as expected, we're going to start drying out as a result. On your clouds and radar map here, just a little rain still falling over parts of Lincoln, Otero counties in that area. That light rain will be diminishing over the next hour or so as we watch that rotation head off to the northeast of us. Rain from yesterday. These are rain totals from yesterday, not official values, but some of the gauge pickups from yesterday into the overnight hours. Right around 0.15 of an inch in Deming, 0.2 of an inch Las Cruces, and a little over 0.5 inch in El Paso. We actually had a viewer report over in northeast part of town of 0.9 of an inch in their rain gauge. So if you do have a rain gauge and you are maybe a trained weather spotter or have a weather system, send over your reports weather@KVIA.com, where you can send those storm reports to us. 1/4 inch of rain in Alamogordo, what we saw yesterday. Today, we're on the drying end of things, but in the days to come, we're looking at more chances of rain. We'll talk about that with your raincast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Crystal. A live look at traffic right now. This is I-10 at Lee Trevino, I-10 at Yarborough. Things are beginning to pick up. No tie-ups to tell you about, but we do want to give you a heads up that we got an email from TxDOT. The on-ramp, the eastbound on-ramp at Executive is going to be closed again today at 9 o'clock. Yesterday it was closed from 9 to 4. Today it's closed indefinitely. Again, that's the eastbound on-ramp at Executive. Headlines now, 6 people are dead and dozens others injured after an Amtrak train overturned last night. The crowded popular route from D.C. to New York jumped the track, leaving the train mangled and flipped. ABC's Lana Zach has been following this story all night long and has the latest right now from Philadelphia.
Mangled metal, train cars reduced to rubble. This is the terrible scene in Philadelphia after the northbound Amtrak derailed overnight. 7 cars overturned. Passengers recounting those horrific moments.
Basically, the train tilted over and rolled.
Suddenly, the car just got tossed, and then there's just kind of a moment of chaos where, like, people and things are kind of, all kind of tumbling around you. The car's dark. And, the kind of a moment, you're not sure, if this might be, it.
A lot of people, a lot of passengers coming out really badly hurt.
The mayor of Philadelphia, Michael Nutter, spoke at the crash site.
It is an absolute disastrous mess. Never seen anything like this in my life.
At least 5 passengers were killed in the accident and several sustained injuries, some serious. Many were able to walk off the train, some even walking to local hospitals.
Oh my God, I just hope everyone is okay.
Keep crawling, okay?
Emergency crews searched in the dark through the twisted metal and shattered glass.
They've been destroyed completely. The aluminum shell has been destroyed and they've been overturned completely.
Former Congressman Patrick Murphy described the scene on the train.
Human nature kicks in, so there was people who were
They didn't care about anyone else. They were getting off that train, so stepping over people. The guy next to me was unconscious, so I kind of slapped him a little bit and got him up, and then he was, believe it or not, okay.
This is still very much an active investigation. There are still some passengers that are unaccounted for, and the National Transportation Safety Board is sending their own set of investigators here today to try and figure out how this could have happened. In Philadelphia, Lana Zach, ABC News.
Happening today, beloved priest Father Harold Rom is returning to the neighborhood that he helped shape 50 years ago. And this week, he'll be honored for all of that work. Good morning, El Paso's Denise Olivas is live with this story, which is good news this morning, Denise.
Good morning, Hillary. And one of those recognitions includes this mural you see right behind me here, a brand new mural that was just painted, and it's actually located on the street that is named after him. You can see here, it's a picture of Father Rom with his bicycle. He was best known as the Bicycle Padre because that's how he got around here in Segundo Barrio. He figured he'd get to more people if he was on his bicycle rather if he was walking on foot. Well, the now 96-year-old Jesuit priest, he served El Paso Segundo Barrio a little more than a decade, from 1952 to 1964, but his influence still felt here in Segundo Barrio. Within his first year, he established a youth center and an outreach program targeting low-income youth. Father Rom's main goal was to get kids away from gangs and into school and other activities. This video here is courtesy of the El Paso Diocese. And now, 51 years later, he will receive the first ever Segundo Barrio Person of the Year award. And the father is currently living in Brazil, where his work still continues. And since he's been there for the past 50 years, Father Rom also reaches out to some of those poor neighborhoods in Brazil and does the same work that he did here many years ago. And what's also interesting about him is that at 96 years old, he still does yoga and also leads many retreats and classes that include yoga. So he will be here in El Paso. We do have a list of those events beginning today at 9:30, where he will be welcomed at the El Paso International Airport. And then on May 14th, it'll be a dinner at Camino Real. At the Camino Real Hotel at 6 p.m. Come Saturday at 9 p.m. there will be a bicycle parade and then the unveiling of this mural here. And then finally on Sunday at 2 p.m. Father Rom will lead Mass at Sacred Heart Church at 2 p.m. So definitely a lot of celebrating will be going on here in Segundo Barrio to honor the work that Father Rom has done. For now, we're live in South El Paso. Denise Olivas, ABC 7.
Well-deserved recognition. Thanks so much, Denise, for that live update. More headlines. The body found in a canal in West El Paso yesterday has yet to be identified. The discovery was made on the 500 block of Sunland Park. Police say foul play is not suspected here and no other details are being released. To our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, the father and son involved in that deadly shooting inside a retirement home in Las Cruces have been identified. It happened Monday morning at the Village at North Rise. Police say 89-year-old Carl Frederick Harlan shot and killed his 65-year-old son, Carl Tracy Harlan. The father also allegedly took one of his fellow residents hostage. When police arrived, they say Harlan threatened the officers with a gun. One of the officers shot him in the hand. The Las Cruces police chief says incidents like this should spark action.
I think that should be a wake-up call to these retirement homes, these private institutions that have these elderly population there. They need to wake up and realize that they may have to do more for their residents.
Residents ABC 7 spoke with disagree, saying the facility is a very safe place. Charges against Harlan are now pending. And also from our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom this morning, we're getting a clearer picture of how Las Cruces Public Schools plan to move forward with millions of dollars in budget cuts for the next year. It's not a pretty picture. The district's proposal includes across-the-board 3-day unpaid furloughs for all employees. That alone is expected to save LCPS more than $2 million. Other proposals include increasing the high school teacher-student ratio to 19:1 from the current 16:1, cutting 5 positions through attrition and retirement, and $300,000 in transportation cuts, totaling up to $7.6 million in all.
The good news here is that I do not project any layoffs or any firings because of this. No reduction in force, they call it riffing. We believe we'll be able to do this through our normal attrition rates.
The principals from Oñate, Mayfield, and Las Cruces high schools are expecting to have to cut 31 positions next year. It'll be voted on by the school board May 26 before being sent to the state's public education department 3 days later. Texas high school students can still graduate despite failing 2 state exams. It's all thanks to the new bill signed by Governor Greg Abbott. Abbott says the state must protect students from the evolving testing standards. The bill offers an immediate path to graduation for 28,000 seniors who failed 1 or 2 of the 5 exams required to graduate. So here's the impact on borderland school districts. In the El Paso ISD, 350 students will be affected, 132 students in the Isleta district, 270 in Socorro, 21 students in Cañutillo, and in Clint, about 60 students in that district. If the college student in your life seems more frazzled than usual lately, that's because it's finals week, and that can only mean one thing at UTEP, the tradition known as midnight breakfast. A look at how they're changing it up a little bit this year coming up, and we're not just talking about the menu. And Patriots quarterback Tom Brady planning on fighting back after his 4-game suspension. His agent is expected to file an appeal any minute now. But first, can we see any more rain today? We know we have some clouds out there. It's a nice start to the day, Crystal.
Great start to the day, and it's looking like a pretty good afternoon as well with drier conditions. But rain chances make a return. We'll talk about it after your break.
Well, this is ABC 7, where news comes first.